For those of you who need or want to know how to determine if a function is even, odd, or neither using algebra and the definition of even and odd, this is the video for you. By definition, a function is odd if the f of negative x is equal to the negative f of x. And it's even if f of negative x is equal to f of x. Now what in the world does all of that mean? Let's take a look at an example and we'll figure it out. I would like to know if this function is even, odd, or neither. So I'm going to start by finding the f of negative x, which is easy to do. I just plug negative x in for every x in the original function, like this. And I simplify. So when I have an odd number of exponents, odd number of negatives means that it stays negative, so this becomes negative x to the fifth. And then an odd number of exponents again, that stays negative, which I'll put in front of the 2. And a negative makes a positive here. Now remember, what this has to equal to is the the negative f of x. So what I need to do to find out if that's true is see if I can take a negative out of the original function. So I'm going to pull a negative out front. So if I take a negative out of this, I get a positive x to the fifth. If I take a negative out of this, I get a positive 2x to the third. And if I take a negative out of this, opposite sign, I get a negative x. Notice what I have here, x to the fifth plus 2x to the third minus x, the part in parentheses, is equal to the original f of x. But there's a negative sign in front of it. Therefore, that is equal to f of negative x. So I have shown that f of negative x is equal to negative f of x. Therefore, by definition, this function is odd. Here's another example. I would like to know if this function is even, odd, or neither. First thing I'm going to do again, I'm going to take the f of negative x, just like I did before. I'm going to plug negative x in everywhere there is an x. And again, I'm going to see what I get. So if I have an even number of negative signs, even exponents here, that means that the negative will go away. Negative times negative times negative times negative. Same thing here, an even number, the negative goes away. And there is no exponent there, so just minus 2. And this time I don't have to factor out a negative because I can see that in the original function right here, this is the same as this, and by definition, if the f of negative x, which is this, is equal to the f of x, which is my original function up here, this is an even function. So algebraically we have shown that. One more example. I'm going to start this time as I've been starting by looking at the f of negative x, trying to find if it's even, odd, or neither. So I'm going to plug in negative x. Probably should say plus negative x here. And now I'll just simplify. So I have an odd number of negatives here, so that'll be negative 2x to the third. I have an even number here, so that just becomes x again, so minus x squared. And then this one is just minus x, as I almost wrote the first time. So let's see, it's not the same as f of x, so we know this cannot be even. So we're just going to do this. Even? Nope, not even. And we need to factor out a negative to see if it's the same thing as negative f of x. So when I factor out a negative 1, that gives me 2x to the third plus x squared and plus x. And if I compare this part, which would be f of x, to the original f of x, I see there's a different sign right here and right here. So we know it also is not odd. Therefore, this one must be neither. This function is neither even nor odd. Did you notice a pattern to these? If you want to see how to determine even and odd by just looking at the exponents, and you haven't noticed that pattern here, watch my video titled Determining Even or Odd Polynomials. It's simple. And you'll find out the secret, simple way to determining even or odd functions simply by looking at the exponents given in the function. If you look at these closely, you can probably figure it out for yourself. Meanwhile, thanks for watching this video. I'd like it if you'd leave me a comment below and let me know if you prefer using exponents or graphing or algebra to determine even and odd functions. If you found this video useful, I'd also appreciate it if you'd click that thumbs up button, to like the video, and subscribe button if you hadn't done that before, to support the channel, and we'll keep making these videos. Also, I invite you to visit our website at mymatheducation.com for more information and problem-solving steps, as well as social media links. You'll find the link along with other links of interest in the description below. Thanks again for your support.